show is sponsored by HiveMind CRM. It is more than just a CRM. It is a real estate and business mastermind that comes with an all-in-one CRM. You can have unlimited websites and users. You can call, text, RVM, and email all in one user interface. And you can set up custom automations for any type and multiple businesses. 65% of companies start using a CRM system within the first 5 years of business. Once implemented, the HiveMind will save you on marketing, give you more time, and make more money. One of our users had his first $100,000 month using our system in June. We want to see you automate and accelerate your business. Text us at 210-972-1842 for future meetings, and of course to get our $1 course on how to make more than 6 figures on one land deal. You can schedule your free demo today at HiveMindCRM.io.
You've been doing a lot of traveling, like me, probably more than me, way more than me. What's it like traveling to new places, meeting new people, and is it life for you?
Seeing new places is fun, right? And getting to speak to investors all over the country is fun and a blessing, and I don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
I like it a whole lot better when I get to bring my family. Yeah. Obviously, them coming on every trip doesn't always make sense, but investing in real estate gives me the financial freedom to be able to do that. So I've got my whole family here. I came here for a conference that only lasts 3 days. I came here 3 days before the conference to hang out with my family. I'll do the conference for 3 days, and then we're staying for 4 days after, and I'll hang out with my family then too. So.
Where have you been this year? Because for me, I have a list.
Yeah, this year's been nuts, man. Again, like, being a real estate investor is such a blessing. So like, so my family's here. We also took a trip earlier. We went to Orlando for a conference. And so like, my kid's been to both SeaWorlds on both sides of the country in one summer just because I get to travel and do events. And so that's just a super unique thing to be able to say. She's been to SeaWorld Orlando. We did SeaWorld San Diego today. She did Disney World in Orlando. We did Disneyland in Los Angeles a couple of months ago. And so we've been all over. This year I've been to Florida, Texas, Orlando, California, Missouri, Arkansas, and I think I just booked, I'm coming back to California next month to go to Fresno and speak.
Okay, awesome.
The internet makes the world such a small place, man. I get stopped in airports and it's just crazy. I was in Orlando in Harry Potter World with my wife and kids, and some guy and his father come up to me and they're talking to me about my content, and they're glad that I put it out because he was going through a refinance and my content helped them figure out how to go through and do a HELOC on their property to pull some money out to continue to invest. And so that's super cool. Just in the middle of Florida. I'd never been there before, to Disney World, and you see people that you've touched all across the country.
You don't even know the impact and reach that you have until you're out in the random places.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of cool and exciting and like scary.
It's cool. It's fun. It's creepy when people are like Henry Washington, and you're like, who knows my name? But just being able to impact people, again, I talk about it all the time. The whole point of this isn't for me to keep it; it's to share it. If you're not sharing the information and sharing the wealth, then you could lose it. So give it away. Give it away, and it comes back to you tenfold. You want some social media money-making game?
All right, go ahead. Hit me.
You're 100% right. Whatever you know, turn a camera on and record it. You don't have to make it perfect. You don't have to make it beautiful. All you need to do is capture it. There is somebody somewhere who would resonate with the message that you have. If you want to buy rental property and you only own one, there's millions of people that own none who would want to be where you are. Capture it and put it out there. Raw, uncut, that's totally fine, because putting it out there is going to build trust. That's the point of it. People see it, they want to implement it, it builds trust, and then later on, if you come back and you have this product or service that you want to offer to the marketplace because of your expertise that you've put out there, you've now built all this trust from people from giving them so much free information that they'd be happy to buy from you. The internet is massive. You don't need millions upon millions of people to buy your product. You just need a few people who like, know, and trust you. You put that information out there, it helps them change their life. They spread that word. You get to generate income. You get to change the world. And it all starts by just turning on the camera and capturing it. It doesn't have to be perfect.
What's that's the beauty about content is that you can really connect a lot of people. You can build a lot of trust with a lot of people. You can help a lot of people that may take your information. You'll never meet them, never talk to them, never shake their hand, but they're making money with that information.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of it.
I get messages all the time people who have done deals from the free content I put out.
That's it.
Right? And then I get messages from people who've spent money and done deals from the content I put out. You have to have content to reach people at different levels. Some people want to pay for information. They don't want it for free. They don't value it for free. And so they want to pay for it. And they want it from you. But if you don't have it, they will go buy it from someone else. The money's getting spent. And if they want to spend it with you not having a product or service to offer them is doing them a disservice.
One of the crazy things about it is it's always have something to provide, and if somebody wants to pay you, have a way to receive that money.
Have a way to receive it. Absolutely.
Have a way to receive it, and it's not that you need the money. It's just that
money is transactional. It's meant to change hands.
It's meant to change hands.
It's meant to change hands.
A lot of people are take my money. I cannot take something free from you.
That's right.
There's that people that want that exchange of value, and sometimes it's monetary. So
don't get it wrong. We're not talking about being predatory and putting out information you know nothing about. This is a thing that we do. We love it. I do deals every month. I'm actively doing this, and I feel like I have an obligation to share it. And so I share it for free. I share it at a low ticket. I share it at a high ticket because people want to learn at different levels. And so if I don't have a product for the levels that people want to learn, I'm doing them a disservice. So put your information out there.
It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be pretty.
It will resonate with somebody. It will resonate with who is for you.
One thing that's crazy is you've done so many podcasts. You always plug your Henry Washington brand. How important is branding for you?
Branding's huge for me, man. People need to be able to recognize branding is marketing, right? And I want people to know when they hear my name, I want them to think of real estate. I want them to think that I'm somebody who not only knows and understands this, but I do it every day, and I want to give the information to people. And so the best way I could think to do that was just to put an emblem or a symbol of who I am, right, within my business. Branding is huge. Social media is huge, right? You got to put a message out there, and you need to be able to have people connect the dots with your face to your brand.
So one of the things that's really interesting is that you use your name. I use the synonym of Hive Mind. But one thing I really want to drill in is the power of your name. The power of your name is you only have one name your whole life, unless you go out and change your name, which I wouldn't recommend. But you can really build your brand off your name, and you should really leverage that. Just keep to your word, be honest, and your name, your brand can take you to places.
It means something. Integrity. Yeah, huge, man. Huge, man. You put your name out there, right? You don't want to sully that, right? You got to put it out there. Absolutely.
What's a tip to early or people that want to podcast? Like, I want to do podcasting. I want to get knowledge from people. What's that one tip you could give them?
For me, it was getting over the imposter syndrome, right?
Okay.
Like, when you are going to be putting yourself in front of a camera, the thing that holds you back the most is your perception of yourself, right? Like, you perceive yourself as not an expert, or you'll say things like, well, nobody really wants to hear that. Or like, I remember I would start talking about a subject, and then I go, I don't want to say that because nobody cares about that, right? You've got to get over that stuff. Like, people want to, once you realize that there are people that want to hear your message, you stop overthinking it, and imposter syndrome will bring you down. That's what makes, when people say, I don't want to do social media because I don't really want to put my face out there, that's imposter syndrome speaking. The only person that cares about your face being on your social media is you. Everybody else wants to see it. So you got to get over the imposter syndrome and the feeling like no one wants to hear what you have to say, or what you have to say is not important, or no one wants to see your face. That's all just you in your own head. Once you get out of your own head, this becomes easy.
So one of the craziest things about that, and a lot of people, they struggle with this, but talk about what you know. Talk about your experiences, your path, your journey. Because guess who knows that best? You do. So what's 2023 going to look like? I know we're coming into the fourth quarter right now. What's 2023? I mean, I think you got like 40 units this year.
In the last I did.
Do you have like a projection of where you're heading?
Yeah, man. It'd be fun to say I hit the 100 door mark. It's just like, it doesn't, like, I'm not really paying attention to it sounds bad. I'm not really paying attention to the cash flow. I buy for cash flow. So when I buy something, I know it's making me money. It's just cool to be able to say I hit 100 doors. What I'm really going to be looking to do in 2023 is protection, right? And so there's an element of building your wealth, and then there's an element of protecting your wealth. And there's multiple ways to protect your wealth. You know, some people do entities, LLCs, they're not super protective, but that's one way. Some people do trusts. And so I want to be recession proof at some level, at some amount of my portfolio.
Yeah.
And for me, that's paid off properties. And so we may be looking at what do we need to sell to pay off the majority of our portfolio.
Okay.
So that I have a recession proof amount of my portfolio that no matter what happens in the economy, I own these, they're mine. Family's got that income forever. No one can take them from me. So when you're doing these deals, right, you got to buy the land in the first place.
Yes.
So how are you buying the land?
Creatively, we're looking for creative owner finance strategies. So the good thing about land is we can get it cheap or owner finance, which is what we're trying to do. The main goal.
So if you get it cheap, you just pay it off.
Pay it off.
And then you owner finance it to somebody else.
Yep.
But if you get it owner financed, how are you monetizing on the back end?
Subdivide it, just get a release of lien, and whatever we need to get done, paperwork we need to get done, and then we'll subdivide it and sell it off.
So you'll subdivide it, release the lien, pay off the owner finance portion, whatever you have left, then you can owner finance that.
Yep. If you can acquire owner finance, you can sell owner finance.
Let me break that down for you again. So what he said was, he buys land, like a big plot of land, on the cheap. Owner finances it from the owner of the land, but he bought it inexpensively. Then he works with the city and he subdivides that big piece of land into smaller pieces of land. The smaller pieces of land are more valuable than the big piece of land. So he sells enough of the small pieces to pay off the owner who he bought the land for, and he keeps the rest of the small pieces free and clear. He doesn't owe anything on them. And then he takes those small pieces and then he owner finances them to another person who wants to buy that land. They're making payments to him on land he owns free and clear. That's pure cash flow in his pocket, and it's land. There's no maintenance, there's no broken pipes, there's no washing machines that break, there's no plumbing issues, no electrical issues. It's just, give me my money every month. And he acquired it cheaply, got creative with how he subdivided it, and then sold it on owner finance and created cash flow. That's how you build wealth.
The only person you have to pay is the note company that manages the payments.
Yeah.
$20 a month.
$20 a month. What's that? One phone call? One check? One check you got to write? That's pretty passive.
Very passive.
Pretty passive.
That's the goal.
The show is sponsored by The List Guys. Do you need more leads in your local or virtual market? 1 in 10 small businesses don't invest in any kind of marketing. The List Guys have over 35 plus list types to choose from, and you can mix and match any list or criteria. We also use the Skip Trace list and provide up to 7 numbers and email addresses. Every list you purchase will be scrubbed against previous purchases. The List Guys are here to save you time. Contact The List Guys today at www.1listguys.com. That's www.1listguys.com.